But if there's one place you don't want to be during a severe thunderstorm with a lot of lightning, it's on top of a mountain with 2 cell phone towers right beside you. We're crazy, but you probably already knew that. Well, welcome back to another adventure in the Suburban with the camper. We're headed down that road. We're in the Ouachita National Forest. We haven't been in the Ouachitas in, well, like 3 weeks. We went down to Lake Ouachita like 3 weeks ago. We haven't been camping in like 3 weeks, which is unusual for us. But we were doing other things. Well, you've seen what we've been up to. But we're back going camping. We're going to potentially a camp spot we found a while back. We'll see if there's any water there. If there's water there, it's going to be a beautiful camp spot. If there's not, we might push on. There's a mountaintop down here in the Ouachitas that I want to try to get to the top of because I think there might be a cool view. And I've been trying to get to it for a while, and every time we've come down here, we haven't ever made it that far due to various reasons. So we're going to hang out in the Ouachitas. We're going to check out some new roads. This is a new road, at least a portion of it. And we'll see if we can get ourselves in trouble. Last time we were in the Ouachitas, well, not the last time, but one of the recent times, we went down a road and hit a gate, and you should go back and watch that video. That was interesting. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully we should have fun roads, good scenery. It's hot. It's like 92. Heat index has been through the roof. The heat advisory tomorrow. It's going to be hot. But we're going to have fun anyway. We have no idea what we're getting into. But we'll find out. Woo! Woo! We have found some more muscadines. There's actually 4 or 5 ripe ones up there. They're getting close. They'll be ripening up in the next week or so. There's a bunch up on these vines through this tree. It is really good for muscadines here in Arkansas this year, wild muscadines. We've seen a lot in the Ozarks, and now we're spotting them really fast here in the Ouachitas too. So we're gonna try to capitalize on that in the next week or so when they're really starting to ripen up. These are the first ripe ones I've seen. There's only about 4 or 5, and there's a bunch on this vine. So we'll be getting some muscadines this year. Sometimes roads out here in the Ouachitas get really overgrown and tight. It's bringing back memories from our trip to Queen Wilhelmina. We went through a road that was bad tight. This is similar, not as bad yet, but like this is an open area. We're about halfway through this road before it opens back up. I've been to the other end of this road, and I know it opens back up eventually if we can get there. This could be interesting. There's some great muscadines right over the road here. I don't know if this road is worth coming down to get muscadines though. It's, ooh, man, look at all those muscadines. Okay, it might be worth coming back for. You just drive through, it's a pick and drive. Drive and pick. But it's so overgrown with weeds that like climbing the hills, you can barely tell, you'll kind of be able to tell there's a rut, but you can't really see what the terrain even is, and then you're just driving through trees basically. it's kind of a narrow road. Not terrible road so far, but you know, it could be better. The most disappointing thing about this road and roads like this, there are a lot in the Ouachitas like this. We've been following a ridge top for a long time, and so there's views off both sides, but you can't see them. You barely get a glimpse through the trees. Like I just barely could catch a glimpse out through here. But there's no big openings or anything, so you're just missing out on epic views. But we're about to drop off the ridge, so we're gonna go downhill. That might be interesting. Good road again. We've been on this road before, and we're almost to a camp spot that we found a while back. We'll see if it's unoccupied and if there's any water there. We have collected part of a tree here. Don't need that. All right, we're at the camp spot. I think the creek is dry, which is expected. It is spiderweb. It is August. Let's see. Well, it's not completely dry, but there is barely a trickle coming down the waterfall. This is a much prettier area. It's still pretty, but it's much prettier when there's a lot of water. We'll see what Sarah thinks if we want to camp here. It's a really small campsite. It's the main problem, but it's a beautiful spot. Just needs a little bit more water to really be perfect. All right, we've decided to move on because it's so dry here. We'll come back here another time when it's real wet, enjoy the waterfall. We're gonna head on to where we're trying to get tomorrow and maybe camp on a mountaintop. Got out to grab the kids some snacks because it's past dinner time. We're gonna be on the road for another hour, and the fridge was not working. The battery, I fully charged the 200 amp hour gel battery last night. It was fully charged, according to my charger, it showed 100%, and it will not run the fridge right now. It's not, the battery is less than a year old, maybe a year old. Never been below 60%. But it's already lost so much that it won't charge the battery. Very disappointed in the battery issues we've been having. So the fridge is in the Suburban, running off the alternator now. I put all our spare water in it and filled it up. We don't have a whole lot of food this trip, so I put all the water in I could. I've cranked the temperature way down, and we're gonna run it for the next hour, try to chill all that water off as much as possible, make it as cold as I can, because we're not gonna be able to run the fridge tonight. And it's a little frustrating, because we keep having these issues, and I spent a lot of money on that battery, and yeah, it's not lithium, but it still should be. I ran 2 deep cycle batteries, like boat batteries, and they did better than this 200 amp hour. This is more amp hours. It's a gel battery. It's supposed to, anyway, I'm just ranting because it's frustrating, kind of frustrating, but I'm gonna have to solve that issue at some point in the near future, sooner than I hoped. All right, let's hit the road. We've stopped off at a campsite. I don't know if we're going to camp here or not. It's not where we want to camp, but we're still a long ways from where we want to camp, and it's getting late, so we need to make some supper. So we're at least going to make supper here. We may just go ahead and camp here. It's a nice camp spot, so we're going to make some supper and then make up our mind if we're going to keep going while the kids sleep in their car seats or stop here for the night. So with the fridge issues and us being stopped, the fridge will not run off the vehicle battery because the voltage drops too low and the fridge kicks off. So I'm running it off the little Renogy battery pack, which will not run it for real long, but hopefully it'll keep helping it drop in temperature. And obviously it won't run off the big battery on the camper currently. So Just doing what we can. I don't know what we're gonna do about the fridge. Fortunately, we don't have very much food, but I'd at least like my bacon and eggs to last till morning.
I'm into eggs.
All right, so we've browned some ground beef. Sarah's made some flatbread here. She's gonna pan fry it, throw it in this skillet and cook it up. And we got rice. And we're mixing the rice and the meat up with beans. I don't know what this is. What's this called?
It's called I Made It Up.
It's called She Made It Up. We'll put that in the cookbook that doesn't exist.
What? Something else is gonna have to.
Yummy! Yummy!
Make sure this has enough salt and pepper in it. And then you can add cheese on the top. The cheese can melt on the top.
All right, another minor issue we're having today. Today is the day for issues, evidently. Suburban was trying to overheat coming up this last big hill. It's a big hill. It's trying to overheat. I can tell the transmission's getting hot by the way it feels. And it just is what it is. It's manageable, but it doesn't usually do that. I did just check the oil. We're at the low, full, but on the low mark. So I'm going to add a quart of oil. And a lot of times actually getting your oil up full will help your engine stay cooler. I don't know why, but I've run across it on these vehicles before, that if your engine oil starts to get low, sometimes that will make your temperature go up. It's just the way everything's circulating in there. Kind of makes sense, I guess. I'm no mechanic, but I'm going to add a quart of oil, get it topped off all the way again. Coolant's looking good, but it's just hot and it's pulling a heavy load up some steep hills. So we'll see. It'll be fine. Maybe. It might not be.
I want to find one of these. So I was going to ask you where they were. Yeah, I'm coming. I want to wear a
All right, food is ready. So we're making some plates for the kids to start with. But should be good. Beans and rice and meat and cheese and some flatbread and some fresh tomato on the side. I have no idea what genre of food this falls in, but it looks edible, so we're gonna eat it. So we are leaving this spot. Primary reason for leaving and not camping here is the fridge situation. I need to get it down to temperature further. I need it colder before we can risk turning it off for the rest of the night if it won't stay on. And our battery pack is down to 75%, probably getting closer to 50% now. So it's not gonna run it all night, period. But if we can get it colder, it might be able to run it on and off a little bit. So we're gonna drive. We've got at least an hour to where we're looking at camping. It's 9:20, so it's gonna be like 10:30. It could be 2 hours. I don't know how long it's gonna take. It's all dirt road and it's pretty good ways, but we're gonna try to head that direction. If I were smart, we would turn around and just head home and drive 2 hours home and not have to set up camp. Instead, we're gonna drive 2 hours, hopefully make it there, potentially have spoiled food in the morning, and no telling what else could go wrong. But we really want to get to the top of this mountain, so we're gonna see if we can make it happen. We might get there, we might not make it back, but we're gonna try to at least get there. We're crazy, but you probably already knew that. Alrighty guys, update. We are on the mountain that we are trying to get to. The view is not as good as I hoped, from what I can tell. There's not as good a camping spot as here as I hoped. There are 2 cell phone towers. It will work to camp. The main downside right now is we're under severe thunderstorm warning. Now we are barely in the warning. I think the storms are gonna go north of us. But there's one place you don't want to be during a severe thunderstorm with a lot of lightning. It's on top of a mountain with 2 cell phone towers right beside you. So, I'm not sure what we're going to do. I'm kind of waiting to see what the storm's going to do. I think it's going to go north of us and we're going to be clear. But it's going to be kind of close. And I don't really want to get everything set up and the tent set up and then it just storm on us and us be sitting on this mountaintop. It's just not the best idea. So we're kind of just hanging tight for a minute. Kids are all asleep in their seats. I think Sarah's asleep too. It's after 11. We probably should have stayed back there in the woods. Though, if we'd stayed back there in the woods, we actually probably would have been a direct hit with this storm, or very, very close. It's just an isolated, severe thunderstorm that's randomly popped up. Just a summer storm that's came up. This has been a trip. And the fridge is still not working right. I don't know. It's in the vehicle and it's not working off the alternator very well. We may have a compressor going out. We may have a fridge failing. I don't know. I'm tired and I don't know. And we got bacon in the fridge. We never get bacon. We always get Spam because we can't afford bacon. But we got bacon this time. If my bacon goes bad, you'll be a little disappointed. But we'll survive. I figure out what we're going to do. We're going to set up and go to bed or wait on the storm or head back down the mountain and try to go find another camp spot. There's not many camp spots out here. They're really hard to find, so I don't know where we're going to find one or how far we're going to have to drive to find a different one that might be better than this. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know what we're doing.
Speed limit, 35.
Well, good morning, everybody. As you can probably hear, it is very windy this morning. This mountain almost has incredible views. It has some views. It's almost really incredible views. Not quite though, it's too much trees. It was a long night. The wind kicked up and it has been blowing. I mean, the annex is kind of flopped up now because I took the bar down. It actually did that by itself last night. At one point, the bar blew off and the annex flew up. I got it fixed back in place. It's incredibly windy. You may not be able to hear me, but it feels good. It's cool this morning, but I don't even know if we can cook here. I think the wind's going to blow the fire out, so we may have to go somewhere else before we can even make breakfast. The little battery pack is dying right now, but held the fridge all night. So that at least is good. Maybe the bacon is safe to eat if we can find a place where it's not too windy so we can actually cook it.
Keziah! Keziah, look right! Keziah, what are you doing? Keziah! Honey!
Alright, pull that piece of metal out of the ground.
Nope.
Alright, we're packed up. We're gonna go find a spot that's not so windy because it's windy up here and our fire would just blow out. So we're gonna head down the mountain, find a spot to breakfast this morning. I don't know where that's gonna be, but we're gonna do some more exploring in this area. There's some creeks and stuff we want to check out. We finally made it to the top of this mountain. I've been wanting to come up here for a while and see what was here. Now we know it's an interesting spot. Not really a great camp spot. Not the worst, but not really great. It'd be nicer if there wasn't, you know, cell phone towers here. And those probably aren't super healthy to be right around. But we're gonna head out and see what we can get into today. hoping to find a camp spot right close to here, but we haven't seen one. Still haven't had breakfast yet, but this is very upper level Pedigene River. The mountain we were camping on is the drainage for the headwaters of the Pedigene River, and this then runs down and dumps into the Arkansas River all the way down by Pedigene Mountain near Morrilton. So kind of cool to come over here and see. This is Pedigene River. That's all there is to it over here. All right, we have finally reached the open little camp area where we can make breakfast. Time for some bacon and eggs, as long as our bacon doesn't look too sketchy. Cool tree. We're going all out today. We got bacon, we got eggs, Sarah's mixing up biscuits, so we're gonna have a solid breakfast. That's all we're gonna need all day. That's all we're gonna have to eat is breakfast.
Nope.
What is that? Turkey feather? Looks like. What jellies do we have, Caleb?
Pear butter and nothing.
So we got pear butter, blackberry jam that my mom made, blackberry jelly that Sarah made, and a little bit of plum from the store.
Gideon needs to move too. Off my feet.
All right, I have gained a lot. Food's gone except some biscuits, leftover biscuits, and y'all want some biscuit? There's still some jelly if Caleb doesn't eat them all.
You eat it?
Anyway, we're gonna do some dishes, lots of dishes, and then we'll pack up and hit the road again. All right, we're packed up. Time to hit the road again. See what else we can get into. We got some more roads around here we want to explore we've never been to. Maybe really boring Ouachita stuff, or we could find something interesting. You just never know in the Ouachitas. Alrighty, we've decided to stop off at Jack Creek Recreation Area. You've seen it before in our videos, but we've never been here when it was warm. We've always been here when it was cold and stuff. So we're gonna go swimming, burn off some energy with the kids, and then see where we're gonna go from there. Probably home. We're really tired. I got like 3 hours of sleep last night. I didn't sleep good at all. So we're gonna try to relax a little bit, let the kids have some fun and use up some of their energy, and then see what we wanna do from there.
That's a good place spot to die.
Super cool swimming hole here with a great rocks to jump off of. There's not even that many people here. I thought it would be really crowded today, but there's only a few people here, so we're gonna hang out for a little bit. I might try fishing a little too. I'm kind of curious what I might catch in this creek. So this right here is where we were going to cross back in the winter. We came through here and we were going to hike. There's a trail that goes up the top of all this. And we were going to cross right here in the winter, but it was like raging water. And we decided it was too cold and too high and wasn't worth the risk of us getting soaking wet. But you can walk across on dry land now. Alrighty, we've wrapped up in the water and now it's time to load up. We're gonna eat some lunch on the road and head out of here. And we haven't decided where we're going yet. We gotta head in the general direction of home. This trip didn't go quite as planned, but it's turned out pretty good. This was really fun hanging out here with the kids. They had a lot of fun. So we may do a little more exploring on the way back, but generally speaking, we're headed back towards home so we can get some sleep tonight, because sleep's a good thing. So we're roaming around, we're out of the National Forest and we're roaming around in just rural countryside, but we're over here close to Blue Mountain Lake, and this is the Pedigene River. So this is the river that earlier we were up in the headwaters of, up in the mountains, but this is down on the west side of Blue Mountain Lake, kind of before it runs into Blue Mountain Lake. So one of these days, I want to come down here, spend some more time at Blue Mountain Lake, and maybe get on the Pedigene River and paddle some of this, or bring the boat down and do some fishing. Really want to do some fishing. We're here recently. Really want to catch some fish and eat some fish. Do like a catch, cook, and clean in camp types of stuff. I don't know. It's really fun. I haven't really got to do a lot of fishing in a while, but I kind of want to do it. What would y'all be interested in that? What kind of stuff that we do? What's your favorite thing that we do? I know a lot of people follow our channel because of the Suburban, and they have a Suburban, or the camper is unique, and it's kind of interesting to see what kind of trouble we get into with that sometimes. But what's the stuff that we do that you enjoy watching the most? I mean, if you tell us you don't like hiking, we're gonna still do hiking because that's what we like to do. But I'm just curious, what do y'all enjoy? Would you enjoy seeing us paddle and catch fish and cook them up at camp? Because I kind of want to do it. I want to go squirrel hunting too. Need to go squirrel hunting soon. But Pedigene River. Never ever been out here. There's got to be some fish in there though. This road's not open. Crazy. So we're up the road, and this is an old, used to be a state highway, and I thought it still went through because it showed up on a map, but evidently this is no longer a road. Look at the old steel bridge there. So they've got this all mounted up and blocked off, and I'm guessing that old bridge is in ill disrepair. I had a feeling it would be one of these and we would probably have to turn around anyway. These old steel bridges, the few that are left, most of them have a 3-ton limit, and with the camper we're way over 3 tons. So I figured we'd be turning around, but I thought it was still an open road, but it's kind of cool to see an abandoned bridge that's still in place. Interesting. Maybe we'll come back sometime in the winter and walk out through here, but I'm not wading through all this in the summer. Takes triggers and snakes galore. There's a river access boat ramp right here, and it's right next to the old bridge. So yeah, that bridge wouldn't hold us, not to mention it's not connected right there. Cool to see the old bridges though. So we're also in the Blue Mountain Wildlife Management Area, which I don't know much about it. I didn't even realize it was here till we got here and started seeing the sign. So I'm gonna do a little research and see if there's camping areas or anything like that around here, because I want to come back to this area and spend some time and do some fishing and maybe some hunting, maybe squirrel hunting or deer hunting, whatever, and maybe get out on the river. And so if there's some WMA camp spots, sometimes those are really nice. You have to get a permit to use them or be an Arkansas registered hunter or fisherman, which I am both. So I can come in and use them pretty much any time, just so long we're following regulations and stuff. So I may have to check that out, because yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a neat spot. There's a lot more to Arkansas than just the National Forest. There's so many beautiful places, the state parks, the wildlife management areas, just the rural countryside in general, the old towns, communities. Arkansas is way more than the National Forest. There's a lot to see in Arkansas. It's a beautiful state. Well, guys, that is a wrap on today's adventure. We made it home. We enjoyed exploring over there. We didn't get to quite see as much as we thought we would. Some things didn't go as planned, and then we found some really cool stuff we weren't expecting to find. The bridges were awesome to see, those 2 old bridges. So we're gonna go check out that area some more, maybe do some fishing and stuff over there. So we'll live to fight another day. We got some things that need to be worked on the Suburban and the camper. So may have to take a week or 2 off and dedicate some time to trying to get a few things fixed before our next trip, whenever that is. So we'll see what happens. If you want to see our route, any of our locations, we do put most of that on, pretty much all our routes and everything are on Patreon for our Patreon followers, and you can support us over there. And we'll be doing some more stuff with this as soon as we can. Just got to get a few things fixed. So, as always, embrace the chaos. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.